Hello all. Today we are going to look at a few ways in which you can introduce or use the light microscopes in your classroom. The use of microscopes meets the living environment skill sets number 1, in which students will be able to manipulate a compound microscope to view microscopic objects. This video will show a comparison between actual use of a microscope versus the use of a virtual microscope, in which students use individual technology to practice the steps of using a light microscope to view specimens. This tool is designed to teach students how to handle a microscope that will be placed in front of them, not just in the virtual world. It does this through accuracy in steps taken and the use of microscopic vocabulary. When deciding which method of instruction is best for your classroom and your push towards integration of technology, it is important to assess the costs and benefits of technology integration. Let's look at the virtual microscope tool first. To access this tool, you will need to access the internet and Google search virtual microscope. Select this one. Once here, you or your students have the option to view a tutorial video on how to use and focus the light microscope. So I'm going to go through some of those steps now. As you can see, this website does provide a tour that will walk you through each of the steps of using the light microscope. So I'm going to click on this and we can get started.
This simulation works very much like a real compound microscope. To succeed in getting a specimen into view, follow this sequence of steps. The checklist will help you keep track of steps you have completed. First, turn on the light. Click here to learn how to do this.
So obviously you can click on the control lighting to have a walkthrough of how to turn on the light. I'm just going to go right through. You turn it on down here. Notice that on the checklist the light turns on. And my next one down is to turn the rheostat to 10. So if you didn't know what the rheostat was, you can click on that. It will walk you through. Otherwise, right here you click and turn to 10. And you can see that check came up on my checklist. So again, this helps the students walk through what they need to do to view a specimen in the microscope. You can pick out a slide. You're going to need to adjust the slide, adjust the stage to accurately view the specimen. And again, this will walk you through. If students are stuck, they can click one of these tours over on the right hand side to get a clear view of how to view that specimen. Switching views allows you to see as if you were looking through the microscope. So again, this is geared towards practicing how to use an actual microscope to view that specimen. So looking through here, you can change your coarse adjustment knob, the fine adjustment knob, turn the diaphragm to adjust light, or change your objective lenses in order to more closely observe a specimen. So as you can see on the left hand side of my checklist, it goes through and checks off what I've done and what I've missed to help those students guide through what they need to do to properly use a light microscope. As you can see, the virtual microscope is a way to engage students in a way that keeps them cognitively involved and challenged to complete a task for viewing a specimen. This is done through interactive tools focused on human-computer interaction for the sake of learning. The interface is workable, meaning it is not so difficult that it becomes frustrating, nor does it overwhelm a student's cognitive load. This tool also offers good visibility, meaning it is easy to learn what controls do, turning buttons into actions with immediate feedback from the interface. Another human-computer interaction component is the learner's opportunity to feel success at reaching certain goals, such as when they are guided through the use of the microscope and are finally able to view the specimen. Overall, this technology is a problem-solving interactive tool used to harvest an environment where students are exploring, having minor setbacks, and moving forward to compile an understanding of the interface to solve an overall problem to view those microscopic organisms. Now that we have looked at some reasons why the integration of this particular technology could be good for student learning, let's address the comparison between teaching using the hands-on microscope versus the virtual lab. When using the virtual lab microscope, the specimen is always there and can be found by following the steps provided. In comparison, real microscopes often cause learners to hit frustration points as they work to change lighting, coarse adjustment, fine focus, specimen position, and objective lenses in the correct sequence. On the other hand, real microscopes have an essentially endless supply of specimens and are so much more versatile than the limited 4 slides available on the virtual one. The virtual scope provides a clearer picture and a greater acceptance of and chance to correct mistakes. Lastly, it is important to note that the virtual microscope does not stand well on its own. Due to the need for students to use a microscope on the state assessment, it is advised that the virtual microscope be used as a stepping stone to teach students the use of the microscope to then move forward in a more friendly way with a real microscope. The costs and benefits of each method should be taken into account when selecting if integration of technology will enhance student learning in your classroom. So to wrap this all together, microscope use can be taught traditionally through a lab activity and work packet and student use of a real microscope, or through the use of virtual microscopes. The virtual microscope is an integration of technology that is designed to lead students through the use of an actual microscope with a learner-friendly interface and step-by-step instructions to accomplish a task. This is not geared towards learning the software program, but instead towards actually learning how to use a microscope. The virtual microscope is a visual tool that keeps students engaged by providing them a more manageable means of learning how to use a microscope and view microscopic objects. For more information on the human-computer interaction and how integration of technology can affect your students, you can view these links below. Otherwise, I hope that you found this video informative, and I hope you have a nice afternoon.